What is up, everybody? Ryan Parasoul here with the Occupational Memers. Today we got my friend Aura with me. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. How about you?
Chilling, chilling. And we got Zathi. How you doing, dude?
I'm doing good.
That's good. All right, so we're just going to talk about the patch notes that just came out for Overwatch. This is patch 1.04, I believe. Yep, 1.04. We're just going to run down some stuff, talk about how the state of the meta is going to be doing. Just like mostly speculation. We've only been playing for about probably 5 or 6 hours since the patches come out, maybe a little more. So yeah, let's get right into it. Let's just talk about everything that happened. First off, we got just hero balance changes to McCree and Widowmaker. So McCree's alternate fire, his right click, bullet damage was reduced from 70 to 45, and the recovery time decreased from 0.75 to 0.3 seconds. Or you play a lot of McCree. How do you feel about this?
I feel like I like the direction they're taking with McCree. He really had no business doing that much damage to tanks. It was like this is gonna give a breath of fresh air into the meta. We'll probably see Reapers and Roadhogs coming in order to deal with tanks instead of just McCree to deal with squishies and tanks.
Yeah, for sure. How much damage did the old right click do?
Oh, the old right click
Like
did
400 something?
yeah.
Yeah.
It was it did like 820 damage about.
Yeah, if you did
right
two of
click,
them.
combo right click.
Yeah, and now it does, I think, like 250, 240 for each right click if all shots hit. So that's a big drop, actually.
Can no longer one shot a Roadhog, which is very big.
Yeah, definitely. What's this recovery time thing? I don't play McCree hardly ever, so I don't know. What's this all about?
McCree, when he right clicked, his reload animation was actually like delayed longer than like his left click or automatic reload animation.
Okay.
So
that's why it's more efficient to like shift right after you right click.
Yeah. So that's why like this is just kind of making it usable now that it does less damage. It's kind of whipped out in combat over it all.
Gotcha. And the developer comment says McCree was performing too well against all targets, making him feel like a must-pick in many situations. By reducing the damage of his alternate fire, McCree is now significantly weaker against tanks like Roadhog and Reinhardt, but still maintains his lethality against smaller targets like Tracer and Genji. I think that's pretty accurate. He can still stun Reinhardt over his shield, though, so that's still a huge deal, and I think he'll still be used a lot in competitive play for things like that alone.
There's no doubt that his team utility is still very important. Like he
sure.
still controls a lot of space with assault, and his flashbang, like what you're saying with the Reinhardt shield, is invaluable.
Stopping Genji in his tracks and stuff. And then, okay, Widowmaker also got hit. Matt, Zathi, and I are both Widowmaker mains. I think we both have a lot to say about this. I think this is pretty controversial in general. I guess you can go first, Zathi. How do you feel about the Widowmaker changes? Hold on, let me run through them actually real quick. Base damage decreased from 15 to 12. So what that actually means is when you're at 100% charge, you used to do 150 per shot, now you do 120. That's really what that means. And then all multipliers, like before 100%, like the 90%, the 80%, are all slightly less too on body shots. The headshot damage was increased from ×2 to ×2.5, which means that basically it evens out if you headshot, but it's less if you body shot. So you still do 300 with a fully charged headshot. And the big one, the one that I hate the most, and I think Zathi probably hates the most too, is you have to wait for the unscoping animation to completely finish before scoping. So she's a lot slower in her rate of fire if you're quick scoping. Also, her ultimate cost is to increase by 10%. That's pretty good. I think we all thought that should happen. Zathi, how do you feel about this?
I really like the change to her damage. There's no reason she should be one-shotting Tracer and Zenyatta.
Absolutely.
But
yeah.
But with the unscoping before you can rescope it, I really don't like that change.
I hate it.
I think she would be just fine with the change they did, especially with their ult change. I think they had her fine, but I think they a little bit over nerfed her right there.
Yeah, and like, so we both main this character, so might be a little bit biased in her favor, but I think that like a lot of people can agree with us here. I think they went too far. Like this, she feels so clunky now. It's horrible. You know, she's so
totally
slow.
Agree.
I have to chime in here because I feel like
as someone on the receiving end of Widowmaker's brokenness.
Yeah.
How do you feel?
I feel like as a character, like she doesn't have very many weaknesses, or she didn't before this patch. But this kind of enforces a weakness to her, where like she's forced to like stay still a little longer.
Definitely.
She's encouraged to stay in her scope.
Yeah,
instead
and
of being incredibly mobile. So I actually think it's actually like, even though it makes her less clunky, or it makes her more clunky, I bet.
It does give her a weakness for sure.
Yeah.
And one thing
imagine if Bastion could like.
just move. You're right. No, that's a good comparison too. That's actually a really good comparison. One thing I actually noticed today when we were playing, just like 3 games ago, wow, we just got off playing a bunch of games. I was playing Widow. I still plan on maining her, even after these nerfs, just because I find her to be the most fun character in the game. But I was playing Widowmaker and we were on Volskaya, and the first point we were on attack. The first point I was doing really well. I was killing lots of people, like getting lots of headshots, making lots of good picks for our team. And then we got to the second point, and it's just like stalemate. You know, we couldn't get into that second point. And before, it's like, why would I switch off Widow? Like, Widow is so good at everything. There's no reason for me to switch off Widow. It's not Widowmaker, you know what I mean? She's amazing. It's not her. But here, I was like, yeah, I feel like I'm not getting anything done with Widow. So I switched to Tracer, and I think we won that game. So I guess, yeah, she has a weakness. Sometimes you need to actually switch off her. She's not great in every single game ever.
I agree.
That's a big part of the game, is like switching off characters.
It is. It's just sad because
Widowmaker both kind of violated that.
It's just a little sad for us because playing Widowmaker every single game is so much damn fun. Developer comments says, in the right hands, Widowmaker can often feel unstoppable, even when landing just body shots instead of critical headshots. That's totally true. Changes to her alternate fire weaken body shot damage, leaving her headshot damage unchanged. Additionally, we felt her ultimate ability, Infrared Sight, was coming up a little too frequently. Yeah, the ultimate definitely needed the nerf. They don't mention anything about the quick scoping thing, so I don't know. Still not a big fan of that, but whatever. It is what it is. She's still strong. I think she's still really strong. And then there's some general bug fixes. Improved stability of high bandwidth option in custom games. Have any of you guys ever tried this high bandwidth option?
No, but I've read that there've been a lot of issues, like unable to actually play games with the high bandwidth option enabled.
What does high bandwidth do? I've never tried it. I have no idea what it does.
I might be wrong here, but from my understanding, like the server tick rate is like 20. Like it sends 20.
Okay.
And then it like receives 60 or something. I might have got that mixed up, but essentially this one switches it from like a 20 tick rate to a 60 tick rate.
Gotcha.
But it causes instability in the platform.
Okay. Well, I don't know anything about that. Hopefully it works better for the people that use it. So, then there's a couple hero bugs that they fixed. Mercy used to gain ult charge when she was damage boosting an ally that was attacking a barrier or ice wall. This is actually like a big bug.
I loved that bug.
Yeah, I know. I knew about this one too, and I totally abused this before. I think we all play a lot of Mercy here, and that was like so strong. The fact that you could just pelt a Reinhardt shield and damage boost somebody, and you get your ult like instantly. It's pretty dumb. So that's good that they fixed that. And then a bug where Reaper shadow step to unintended locations in certain maps. Has anyone ever seen this?
There were a few bugs where he could actually warp into walls.
Really?
And he would be like in the wall, unable to be shot, unable to leave the wall he was in.
Could he warp out?
No, he was stuck.
He's just completely stuck. That's so funny.
So Reaper.
Well, yeah, good thing they fixed that, I guess. I've never seen it, so. And then fix an issue with collision on certain areas of Dorado not blocking line of sight. So.
Oh, I think I know what that bug was. Like people could put symmetry turrets on the bottom side of the bridge, like in between the checkpoint, like where you get into the inside of the factory place, and it would actually like the symmetry turrets would go up through the bridge and like hit people standing on top of it.
That's super whack. Yeah, good thing they fixed that, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, so we still think McCree and Widowmaker are going to be strong, right? And they still think that they're going to be in the meta?
I think definitely going to run at least one McCree still, but I don't think the 2 McCree is still going to be in the meta.
What about... Dead. Yeah, double McCree is definitely dead. That's good. Happy about that. I really disliked that. Do you think Widow will be on every team still?
I think there will still be a lot of Widows in competitive, but I think she will get replaced by maybe by a soldier if they need one.
What about Hanzo? You think Hanzo will come up? Because I don't personally.
I don't really think Hanzo will come up, but I feel like if he were to, this would be the time where he would.
Yeah, I totally agree. I don't think he will, but if some God Hanzo's out there, now's your chance to prove yourself because your biggest counter just got nerfed. So, yeah, I think that Widow will still be played a lot on Hollywood in particular, and King's Row too. She's so strong in those maps. So
she's so
especially
devastating in the right hand.
Yeah, yep, absolutely. And the second part of Hollywood, which Hollywood I think is the most played map in competitive, if not, it's King's Row, and they're really close. That second part of Hollywood on the streets phase, Widow is so strong there, it is insane. So I think at least in that particular spot, she'll always be there. So that's good though. I don't want to see her leave the meta. She's super cool, high skill champion. So even if she is really frustrating to play against. Let's talk about the state of just offense heroes in general. Like, who is going to take McCree's place? If McCree's not being played, like, if it's one hero limit and they don't run a McCree, or if it's if they run one McCree and someone else, like, who do you think's going to step up?
I feel like this could go like in a few different directions here, because like one, like, it depends on like why they're picking McCree. Like, are they picking him for a tank shredder? Now they can't do that anymore.
Yeah.
And if like that's the case, like I feel like we're gonna see more Roadhogs, more Reapers.
More Reaper, yeah. Maybe Pharah too. Pharah kills tanks pretty well. Especially Reinhardt, you can get behind the shield and just 120 damage shot his back, you know. What about Genji?
I do feel like there might be a possibility of Tracer sneaking her way in with
I've got a lot to say about Tracer. Got a lot to say about Tracer. I don't think Tracer will ever be played in competitive, high level play outside of stalling objectives and King of the Hill, but that's just me.
Yeah, I definitely feel like I don't disagree with you, but we might see some brave souls stepping up to the plate here with two of like her biggest like counters getting nerfed.
No, these are absolutely, aside from maybe like Junkrat Reaper, who are also pretty big counters, these two were her biggest counters before this. So, and I've been playing lots of Tracer. I've always played lots of Tracer. I've got over 50 hours on her. And I definitely have found it a little easier lately, not getting one shot by Widowmaker when I just round corners randomly and she has her ult up. So that's nice, but I still think she's got a lot of other problems. Definitely. Do you think Genji's gonna move up? Do you think Genji's gonna get played more? Because he was already getting played a bit.
Oh yeah, I definitely think Genji's gonna have a place here, especially with the Widowmaker nerfs actually, because they perform similar tasks, like picking up the key targets. So we might even see like some Widowmakers getting swapped out in favor of Genji. I don't know. That's pure speculation, but
no, totally. I think that's totally reasonable to say. Also, Widowmaker's ult being nerfed helps Genji a lot because Widowmaker's ult is like the hardest counter to Genji in existence.
That's true.
That's cool though. I really like Genji. I hope that he gets played more. Definitely one of the most awesome characters to see in competitive play.
For sure.
And then Matt, you think that that Soldier 76 is going to replace Widow a little bit?
Soldier 76 is a really, really good long-range attack.
Yeah. Definitely, especially if you burst fire it.
So does McCree, though. So I'm not sure who's really going to replace Widow, or if she's even going to get replaced at all.
I think if people ran a comp like similar to how with the old comps, but put a Soldier in there instead of a Widow, that would definitely be really interesting. And I mean, Soldier does get a bit of play, so he's definitely a decent character. But any other like random heroes that you think will rise and fall based on this? Like you said, Tracer. I think that's a good point to make.
Bastion is a tank shredder.
Yeah,
I don't know if we're gonna see him more.
Also, Bastion's hardest counter is probably Widowmaker.
That's true.
So Torbjorn too. Torbjorn's hardest counter is probably Widowmaker. There's a lot of people that are really hard countered by Widow. Pharah, Zenyatta. How about Zenyatta? That's a good point, guy to bring up.
Yeah, I think Zenyatta might actually have a place here.
I think Zenyatta's gonna rise a lot, actually.
He has one of the best like offensive ults in the game.
Absolutely, yeah. He's just got a great kit in general, aside from the fact that Widowmaker just looks at his toe and presses mouse 1 and he dies. But not anymore, so that's really nice. And definitely...
Like, I guess, like, competitively, we have to see if, like, his survivability is, like, good enough now.
His survivability is still very, very low. Like, just because Widowmaker doesn't one-shot him doesn't mean, like, half the other rest of the characters in the game do. Like, Genji can still one-shot him with mouse 1 melee shift. So, that's rough. Like, that's still pretty rough. But we'll see. But I would love Zenyatta to be like a top tier support. That would be so awesome. Zenyatta is such a god. He's so cool. So Zenyatta's rising up. Do you think Torbjorn will rise up at all? Or do you think that he's just too flawed? Too flawed in general?
He does
I don't
get
know.
played on certain maps and
Yeah,
certain
and
parts
yeah.
of maps.
On some of like the weird maps, like
He's
I
been
forget the
played on
names, but-
Hollywood for the first point. I've seen him in Hollywood a few
Really?
games. Yeah, I have.
I find that weird. I think Hollywood is a bad map for him. But if someone made it work, I've seen him on like Watchpoint Gibraltar and stuff.
I've seen him on Dorado too.
Yeah,
and
Dorado. He's pretty good on Dorado.
I think maybe we might see him a little bit more, but on like the first points of maps. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he's really going to become one of the main
It's so rough
defensive
for
picks.
Torbjorn against Widowmaker though. Like even with the nerfs, she still destroys him. So like his headshot hitbox is so big, and he throws down his level 1 turret, and Widow just one shots it before he can even whack it once with a hammer. Like she just farms her ult off him. So I don't know. Torbjorn's just kind of a flawed character in general. But how about one last guy I want to bring up? Unless anyone else has someone else's Junkrat. Do you think Junkrat's gonna rise in play? Because I've been seeing like a steady increase of Junkrat like in competitive play the last few weeks.
Yeah, I think one big strength of Junkrat is how flexible he is. Like he has good aggressive options. He has good defensive options.
Yeah,
He can
he's
do
hard
it
to
all,
kill.
honestly.
He's hard to kill too.
Yeah.
He's slippery.
And he also destroys like Reinhardt shield. And
Reinhardt shield. I think that's the
shield.
biggest reason that he's played is Reinhardt shield.
Yeah.
So
very popular on Hollywood.
Yep,
for, like,
Hollywood
defending
for
the
sure.
choke.
Yeah, there's really only one entrance, and Junkrat can blow it all up. So, all right. Anything else you guys want to bring up?
I've seen him a lot on King's Row too.
Yeah. Well, yeah, King's Row's the same way. There's one entrance. You got to get through a bunch of bombs to touch that payload. I hate Junkrat. Junkrat is so stupid.
The Tracer main blues.
Yeah, the Tracer main blues. Well, one thing that just popped into my head is: do you think any tanks that weren't being played as much will rise now that McCree is not annihilating them? Like, do you think double tank might come back? Because I haven't seen double tank as much in a while. It's usually single tank. I think maybe Diva, Winston will get played more.
I can see it. I feel like Roadhog might actually, like he's barely a tank. He's really an offense hero.
Yeah, no,
He's, like,
absolutely.
600 health. Now that like one of his biggest like counters, I guess. Like,
Was McCree
can't one shot him anymore?
Was McCree pretty rough for Roadhog? I don't play either character, so
Yeah.
yeah, I can
I
see
feel
that.
like tanks are definitely got buffed with McCree's nerf overall.
Well, maybe like the 2 tank, 2 support, 2 DPS meta will come back, because that was the meta for a while, and then it switched to 3 DPS, 1 tank. So we'll see what happens. See how it unfolds. But yeah, any other characters you want to bring up or anything like that?
Do you want to talk about who we might see in the next patch getting changed?
This is definitely, totally. And also, I think we should mention who we like, if there's any nerfs or buffs that we would have liked to see in this patch. So Zathi, go ahead. You sound like you have something in mind.
I think we're definitely going to see some Diva buffs.
Diva buffs, thank you.
Diva
That's
buffs.
my girl. That's my girl.
And Lucio nerfs.
Yep, totally agree. I wish they would have come this patch, actually. Diva, I love Diva. What Diva needs is just a faster move speed while shooting, I think.
And a smaller headshot hitbox.
Yeah, well,
that
that's
pulls her
just,
so far back. Like,
it really does. Like, she has so much armor, but it just gets shredded by everybody just unloading on her face. Because she sits in her robot so awkwardly. She's like parallel to the ground. Definitely want to see some Diva buffs. Lucio nerfs. How do you nerf Lucio?
I think they should reduce his aura size.
His aura size.
Yeah, I don't think choosing like only 3 people to buff. I don't think that's the play. I think they just need to reduce it and maybe make it line of sight only.
I don't like the choosing 3 people idea either. It is line of sight only right now, isn't it?
Oh, is it?
I think so. Or maybe
I think his ult goes through walls.
Yeah, his ult. Yeah, I think his ult does.
I think his ult needs a definite like AoE nerf.
His
like,
ult is
very,
absurd.
very fucking large.
I do think it's the strongest ultimate in the game, aside from maybe Rez, but God, that
It's
ability
definitely
is
up there.
alt speed boost, man, is really nothing you can do against that. Unless you also have a Lucio with all.
Maybe a speed boost needs to be tuned down
Yeah,
a bit.
I've said this before on Facebook and stuff. I think speed boost is the most powerful ability in Overwatch. I think that if you're gonna nerf Lucio, you need to nerf speed boost.
And that like really manifests itself in competitive play too.
Yeah,
like,
organized play in
setups.
general. Yeah, totally. I mean, we've won so many games, just us like, oh, I'm Lucio, let's just ult and then press E, and we run at them super fast with 800 health as Reinhardt. Like, what do they do? Nothing.
They're pretty much just disabled for 3 seconds.
Yep.
While we have our way with them.
Exactly. So anybody else? Buffs and nerfs? Mercy nerfs? Anybody? Mercy is the most played support in competitive right now, actually.
I do feel like sometimes her ult charge comes up a bit too fast.
Yeah, when she heals someone, their ult charge comes up extremely fast.
Also, when she shoots somebody, something that if you don't play a lot of Mercy and you're listening to this, and you ever try to pick her up or play her a little bit, like you need to fill for support or whatever, just whip out the gun and shoot somebody like three or four times. Just unload a clip on somebody. Like you get like 50% of your ult from one clip. Like just look at a Reinhardt and shoot him when he's not got his shield up. It's kind of absurd how fast she gets her ult.
It is.
Yeah, they probably need to decrease that by 10%.
Yeah, like they did with Widow. That'd probably be good. Any offense heroes that you think need buffs, or you think they're all pretty good? Or defense here, just DPS heroes, I mean. May need a buff? May's a tough one to buff, because she's annoying to play against.
If she gets too strong, she'll be like...
Dominant, yeah. Well, she was dominant in one of the old betas. She used, like, they nerfed her before the open beta, and she used to be a lot stronger, and she was, like, absurd. Everybody hated her, you know. I mean, everybody still hates her, but she sucks, so it's okay.
Maybe some of these changes will inspire the May players to come out of the woodwork.
Maybe.
Who knows? I don't know. I feel like I don't see enough May like anywhere to like have an opinion on her.
Yeah, I just think May's a little bit flawed in design. Not too many characters in this game are flawed in design, but I think May's one of them. Just don't like him.
I agree.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but they did pretty well with most of them, so cut them a break with May. One thing that I personally would like them to change is I think they need to rework 2-cap maps, 2-point caps, like what's that?
Hanamura.
Hanamura, Volskaya. I can't remember the other names, but yeah, you know what I'm talking about. I think they need to rework how the second point works. Like, you either need to cap it faster, or overtime needs to be different, or something. Like, those maps are all so hard on offense. Like, the defending team is at such a huge advantage on 2-point cap, and I think that, like, there's a new rule set out in competitive play that just completely bans them all. You don't even use bans on them anymore because they're not played at all.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
About those types of maps, I've actually read a few statistics, like about like when and like the close beta competitive and stuff. Is the higher ranked people were, it actually ended up so attacking had a very high win rate and defense had a very low win rate.
That's interesting. I find it in solo queue and in pubs that it's the opposite. But
yeah, same.
Well, one thing is, if you take the first point and you just snowball straight into the second point, you can totally just win right there.
Yeah, it's super fast run.
Okay.
And that's how you're supposed to play it. But like, if you fail that big push and they get set up, like then it gets really hard.
It's so hard.
Especially on like Hanamaru, and all the entrances have no cover whatsoever, and yeah.
Anubis is really frustrating.
That Temple of Anubis.
Yep.
They're so close to
the
the
Temple
point.
of Anubis is the worst, actually. Oh, I hate that map. Definitely. Like, that's like the only map in the game that not the only, but one of the few maps in the game that like just Bastion Torbjorn comps are godlike. It's so frustrating to play against. All right. Anything else that you got in mind you wanna bring up? I think we covered everything.
I think we did too.
I think we got it.
Sounds good. All right. So until next time, hopefully we'll do videos like this for all the patches and big announcements, things like that. But this is going to be the first one. So yeah, if you guys check us out later, see you then. If not, thanks for the poke, even though we're in the Do Not Poke channel. Anyway, peace out, guys. Have a great day.